We continue with soft confrontations, and the title of this chapter, this particular lecture, is the de-witching story. Not bewitching, because they are already bewitched, and you want to de-witch in terms of soft confrontations. Now we have to realize that when people are giving their spiel to you, their load of rap, you are encountering somebody who is emotionally incongruent. They are not all united. There are parts showing. Plus, they're in preacher mode and they're not showing real emotions. So you know that when they're into ultimate, vast, terrific truth that is absolute for all times, all people, everywhere, they're emotionally incongruent. And you're not dealing with a grown-up, free human that is scientific. So this particular soft confrontation is where you tell a story. And as I've said before, I do distractions in the midst of the story, and I'll try and wave my hand so you know that there's a distraction, because you have to make it soft. You have to make it palpable to the person so that they don't just go off in an enormous huff and say you're an atheist, socialist, non-believer bound for hell, or you're going to be poverty, you're ruining America, or whatever the thing is that they do. And I do laugh because I've heard so much of this. I think I have a layer of sadness because of the tragedy of wasted time, energy, life, and the harm done to our planet in the 21st century, that the only thing I can do is laugh. I mean, oh my gosh, this is something else. So you tell a story, distraction, and I want to explain that at the end of the story, you give a hidden command. A hidden command is kind of like a hypnotic suggestion that you are planning in somebody's mind. So when I do the hidden command at the end, I will raise this red marker so you will know, and you will notice that my voice may change, my intensity may change, my volume may change, and I will be looking straight in the eyes of the ideologue who is in voluntary slavery. So it's a story with a hidden command. I remember back when I was 23, perhaps 24, I was in a coffee shop that I started at the University of Chicago. And at this coffee shop, I was talking with a man who has just finished his PhD in philosophy, and he later taught at Southern Illinois University, a very nice school in Southern Illinois. And he became a very famous professor. I kept up with him some across the years. We never were close friends, but we were sitting there and talking, and here I am drinking my coffee and considering what is being said. And so he would say something, and I was lost in an ideology at that time. I was lost in a belief system. And so he would say something like the cosmos, or the earth is round, or that we're going around the Milky Way galaxy. Our sun and all the planets are going around the Milky Way galaxy. It takes 150 million years to go on that. And I would give some rap, some very simplistic answer. And then he would explain something else, philosophical, scientific, and he'd look at me, and I would give my little simplistic response. I was still wading in the swamp of toxic ideology. And I'm sure you're older than that, and you're not the naive person that I was when I was just 23 or 24, and I did have other parts, but I was kind of in convincing mode, preacher mode, and this guy was deflating my system. So he would say something about the history of Christianity and how it had become interwebbed with Platonism, that all the early theologians were Platonists and they were very proud and they had justifications how Socrates and Plato and Aristotle would be going to heaven, that God had a grace period for them. And he's explaining things to me very coldly, very analytically, very soberly, very philosophically. And I would give a little blithe answer. And then he said to me, "Frank, you give very simple answers to very profound matters. There is complexity that you're not embracing. You need to study some more. You need to think more. You need to lessen your ability to just quote old sources as if they are the voice of God." Well, I don't want to go any further on this particular story because you're a mature person, and I just wanted to say to you that I learned something that day, and I wanted to say to you that we need to keep our minds open.